sometimes a song just doesn't settle. It's like the struggle of finding the perfect final solution of the song. Sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 times of writing a different melody, a different chord to the same lyrics. And for whatever reason, is it my impatience? Is it just how life is? Is it the moment in time? And so there's some songs where I've actually recorded like a whole 3 different songs, but with the same lyric. I think I might have done one 4 times. I'm going to play you one now. I'm going to work through it. It's just how it started off. And it really comes about the moment in time. So the moment in time, actually I was in Australia and I was watching a friend, and his life was a little bit like my life. And somehow watching him, I could sort of go, I could see there's a song in there about me and about you. And it was about actually at a time when you let go of all the heavy burdens and you don't care what anyone thinks about you. And all of a sudden you feel free. And the opening line, so the lyrics I wrote, boy, it's got to be 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. And the lyrics stayed. The lyrics stayed this whole time. I just probably massaged the chorus a little bit, so it became a little catchier in the end. But I actually did write and record 3 or 4 different versions of it. Here's the first. I once had a fine reputation. It was all wrapped up in so many obligations, so I just let it fall somewhere beside the road. I no longer carry that heavy load. You kind of get where I'm going, I hope, right? And I love this concept of letting go. I once had a fine reputation. This is what happened to me in my life, and this, my friends, the same. That I was very well known in certain, especially in the church world, of writing gospel songs and touring, and I wrote a book and did lots of things. And sometimes it can be the pressure of maintaining something. And so I got tired of it because the people would put me in a box. They just wanted me to do a certain style of music. Happens for most people who are singer-songwriters. They wanted the same record I did last time. And again, repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And on the creative side of life, I didn't want to do that. I get bored doing the same thing. It's just my nature. So by doing something different, I felt free. But therefore, I had to not care what an audience person thought. And I won't bore you with how many times I would get letters sent to me, hate mail sometimes. Just go back and make that. We more records like that record. We just like that record. And it's like a prison. And so this may be a song you can relate to in your own life when people put you in a box and you don't want to live in that box because, you're an individual, like the Monty Python story. We're all individuals. I'm not. And so that's where it comes from. And I once had a fine reputation, all wrapped up in so many obligations. So I let it fall somewhere beside the road. I no longer want to carry that heavy load. Now, does that mean I left my wife and gave up all the things I lived? No, it just means I started living with a more free attitude. And so for me, actually, it was a real change I wrote better songs afterwards. I had more success, I think, in certain areas. I was a better husband, a better dad, a better friend by not caring what other people thought. Now, is that 100%? No, but maybe 90%. Mostly I don't care. Even sharing some of this stuff up on YouTube is like, well, yeah, you'll hear me tell stories about drinking too much or failing at something or other. It's like, yeah, it happened. Why pretend it didn't? But anyway, getting the musical package for that song was not an easy fix. So the very first recording I did it with my band at the time and thinking was going to be part of a record I was doing. The record is called You've Got Wings, and it's like this gospel rhythm and blues kind of sound. And I was determined, thinking this song's perfect, so I wrote it in the same time period as the other songs. But when I went to record it, I'm listening to it, and it's like it belongs somewhere else. If it's in that genre, it became very Americana. Not that that's wrong, but it didn't fit that group of songs. So I'm gonna show you the journey of my demos and some recordings. I thought I was going to release it twice before, and then I recorded it. And you get all very excited. Oh, it sounds great, and then you have a month away, and you come back and you go, it doesn't fit the words. It doesn't carry the words. And in the end, I came up with a very, very simple arrangement, a very simple recording with a pretty different melody and chord, very simple chord progression, much less chords than the one I showed you. And even though some of the other parts, there's some good things in there, this is the first time I go, yeah, this carries it. And I'm about to release this song as a little EP. And so, Amy, let me go through and I'll show you some of the stuff I've recorded with this song. And you can make your own opinion. You may think another version was better, and that's great too. So let's go. So here's the first iteration of Time Stands Still. I'm thinking Americana, so I build the track just in here, and with Dave Revan playing drums on this, otherwise just me, and here we go.
I once had a fine reputation, all wrapped up in so many obligations, so I let it fall somewhere beside the road. I no longer carry that heavy load.
The chorus.
'Cause time stands still when I'm walking in with you, even in the midst of a storm. Bullets and shrapnel fly around my head, but they don't matter anymore.
Little solo. But okay, so when I recorded this, the whole version is 2 more verses and two more choruses and little guitar solos, and yeah, this is happening Americana. As the weeks progress, I go, the track is really great. The track's great, and that often can be the case. The track's, it's not better, but the track works. The track could be great for another song. One day I'll get around writing another song to this track because the track's great. But the emotion in the lyrics was about letting go, and I just didn't feel it was right. But you might, and that'd be great. Maybe I'll release 3 or 4 different versions of this song. But anyway, that's the first version, and we can have a vote later which we think is better or worse. I'm sure you've had this happen to you. You've had a great idea, and you come back a week later, 2 weeks later, and you think, oh my God, what was I thinking? Well, when I came up with this version of the song, Time Stands Still, at the time, it sounds wonderful. I was actually touring. I was in Texas. I was about to go on, and I was going through different songs, and I thought, I should try this. I should sing this song. I love singing it live. But for some crazy reason, I made up a whole new version of it, and I came back to LA, and I did it. I recorded it here. I thought it was so great at the time. No, I don't think so now. Anyway, let me play it to you. It's a very left turn. It's the second verse.
I can wear the insults, and I can bear the pain. I can be that statue out in the pouring rain. I may sing a poem, man, no glitter to my ways, but I will have this treasure, yeah, for the rest of my days. Time stands still when you're with your love. Even in the midst of a storm, bullets and shrapnel fly around your head, but none of that matters anymore.
Okay, there's some good bits in there. I think the backing vocals are amazing, but they don't suit this song because it's a bit more intimate. Way too much reverb on my voice. It's just a demo. I could pull it apart. I could shoot it down. If someone sent me this and I'd give a critique, I'd be going, I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes for myself. What was I thinking? Okay, well, I was trying to find life into a lyric that I really loved, and I came up with this version. I had 2 more little attempts, little acoustic things. I won't bore you with the details. But finally, kind of out of nowhere, I found a very simple solution, very simple chords, and a very simple arrangement. And let me play it to you because this is the version I'm going to release soon as in a record. Okay, if you heard the first 2, you got the first 2 in your mind maybe. Americana one, a sort of a poppy, I don't know what the other one, what you describe that as. I'm going to play the intro of this just so you can how different it is, and then I'm going to play the last verse and chorus because there's no bridge in this song, just verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And again, this is such a simple arrangement, and I'll probably break this down as a model for how I would produce a lot of singer-songwriters because it's just real simple. Electric guitar, Telecaster through a Fender amp with some nice reverb, acoustic guitar in the verse and two in the chorus, bass and drums. No keys. Shock. Here's the intro.
I once had.
First verse. Okay. You've heard the first verse, so let's play the last verse and chorus. It's the same idea. And I had different backing singers, some of the same people. And I don't know. It's just something sweet about this that I think tells the story better.
Don't know where I'm going, care less where I've come from, 'cause I've got a friend here that makes me feel I do belong. Never thought that I could find such happiness, even in the midst of all my humanness. Yeah, I like making time stand still, even in the midst of a storm. Bullets and shrapnel fly around my head, none of that matters anymore. Yeah, I like making time stand still. It helps my soul rise above.
So that kind of arrangement just feels right for the song. It feels good to me. It feels like I'm getting across what I want to say in the song. It feels like I'm reaching the audience.
Stand still. Come on, help me make this time stand still.
You'll hear me say it many times. Simple is best. And that's why sometimes it's very difficult producing oneself. You know, it's just because we get locked into how we've played on an acoustic guitar. And that very first version, the Americana version, I once had. That's how I'd wrote it, you know, singing. And that's we can get trapped into how we wrote it on acoustic guitar, when often we need a producer. I had to change the hats, where a producer's hat. And it took me a while to come down. Let's find what's the emotion in this song. We need to, how am I going to sing it to an audience, and how could I help someone else possibly get out of the rat race? Kind of basically what the song's about. Get over worrying about who people think you are and be who you really want to be. So that's what the song's about. And so now when I go out and play this in this style as a 3-piece, sometimes just guitar, bass, drums, I feel like I'm drawing people into the conversation. In my mind, I was doing it in the first version, but I didn't. The second version, oh, no, thank you. And this version, yeah, I feel comfortable. This is the simplest version, the simplest chord version, 1, 6, 2, 5 at the beginning. Nothing complicated. And it's very simple arrangement. Anyway, I hope that helps when you're writing a song, when you're producing your own song. Make sure you're connecting the reason you wrote it, the emotion, the meaning of the lyric. Make sure you're connecting it through the music to the audience. Don't forget to subscribe and look forward to seeing you up here soon. Cheers.